Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be building a modern mansion in Sims 4, and I've never actually understood the concept of a modern mansion, but all I knew was that it was a very type like kind of like all white house, or like a very spacious place with like barely any furniture in it. So that's all I knew in the house. But yeah. So I tried my best, and this was kind of like a modern, as I said, modern mansion. So I was going for like flat roofs and like just weird boxes. If you can see in the video, like I went with some weird boxes. I was trying to do the roof, but I didn't understand how the roof kind of worked, so I think I left it. I left it that way because I just didn't understand it. So I just put a fence on the roof, which kind of makes sense to me more because in Bloxburg, that's a way you can do a modern mansion fence thing. So that's what I did, and I think it worked pretty fine for me, to be honest. Like I really like this house. I actually like the results of the house. I like the way it was decorated. I like the color scheme I did. And I was going for a way like fancy something like something more elegant on the elegant field. So I was going for like something like that. um I was trying to do like at the beginning I was trying to do like a map, like a hill, like the house was gonna be on top of the hill, but I don't know how to do it. So if you guys have any tips in the comments, please tell me, because I literally was struggling with the hill at the beginning, so I just decided not to do it. But I mean I put some hills like around the house, so it makes it look more kind of like more realistic whenever you're walking by, and the house like has its own private area. But yeah, that's what I did. So I started putting on some gardening things, and I really wanted to add a little pond outside. I know it's not like a cottage house, but I wanted to add a pond just because, I mean, it looks really nice to in my sense. So I was like, okay, you know what, it's fine. And then I started adding rocks and all those other different things. That's what I added into the game. I was very indecisive for this house because I mean I've never built a murder mansion. Even in Bloxburg, like any other building game I've played, I don't really build modern houses. I build like traditional houses and cottage type houses. So building modern houses is like kind of like hard for me, but it's fine, to be honest. I kind of understood like the like concept of what I was supposed to do. I did all white walls. I even searched up some pictures of like modern houses. So this house was a very inspiration, like I used a lot of inspiration. So I looked at a bunch of pictures of like houses, modern houses, like windows, modern houses, doors, modern houses, like bedrooms and living rooms and kitchen. So that's what I did. To be honest, that's what I do when I'm building, because I just like that. I don't like building a particular house. I just like building from like certain pieces of pictures and just putting them together. So I did that, and started placing my windows next, which I usually do after placing the walls. So that's what I did. I tried to make this a very open concept because modern houses have a lot of windows. When I was looking at the picture, I saw like a bunch of windows. So I decided to just add a bunch of windows that I saw in the like the biggest windows I saw in the category. So I was like, okay, this is fine. I decided to add a backyard at the rooftop area. So I added a door entrance to the backyard. So that was my idea. And then I put a bunch of pillars because I in the picture I saw there was like a lot of pillars. I was like, I mean, it's fine. The pillars were like decently nice. So I was kind of confused because the outer part I made in my house, I wanted to add a pillar there, but it didn't really make sense to me, and it also looked kind of odd at the same time. So I just ignored it, to be honest. And then I moved on to the layout of the house, which was good, I guess. And I added like about like a good amount of rooms, to be honest, because I was looking for places to add my stairs in, which it was very hard for me to add stairs in because of like the house like was the upstairs was like way too small. So I was trying to like find a way to add the stairs. So I ended up finding a way. That's why I started putting the stairs first, because if I put it in the middle there, I looked upstairs and it was outside. So I moved it back in and it was still outside, and I was just indecisive at that point. So I just kept everything original. I started pushing back the stairs and everything. So yeah, that was it for the stairs, because I was overwhelmed. I was tired and I did not want to do that stairs anymore. So I put on some railing so that no one could fall, and then I then moved on to the downstairs area. I put a wall around the stairs because I wanted it to have its own space technically. So I just did that and it looked really neat, to be honest. So that's what I did and stuff. And then yeah, downstairs was downstairs, to be honest. Downstairs was had the kitchen, the living room, and there was one bedroom downstairs, and there was a library downstairs, which I've never done in Sims 4. I've never done a library in Sims 4. So I decided to put like in the houses I saw like tiles, like there were like gray tiles in the houses that I saw, or marble flooring, which I've never seen in Sims 4. Maybe I should try and find it, but yeah. I saw gray tiles, so I tried putting. Yeah, I did put gray tiles on the floor, and then I started adding my lighting. I was trying to add different lightings because I told you last time I built in Sims 4, I don't really use like fancy lighting like as much. Like as you can see, basically half of the house is made up of the same lighting, which I use all the time. So I need to start moving on to like other different lighting. So that's what I'm trying to tell myself. So I use the chandelier and some other things in the middle in the house. And then I started adding the walls. The theme inside was pretty like, it wasn't dark. It was just like, like it was just like straightforward. Like it was, as I said, black and white. That was my concept in my head. So I was going for black and white, literally. So I started adding all the coloring on the wall, which I wanted to get over with like really fast. So I started adding like white and some other rooms and stuff. And then I began on the foyer, which was pretty easy, to be honest, but I had to search it up. So I put down a carpet, and in the foyer picture that I saw, it had like a area with like a picture, decks, and where they put their car keys and stuff. So that's what I try to like recreate on Sims 4. But yeah, so I decided to add like less plants, but like also like a lot of plants at the same time. But it's fine. I try to clutter a little bit, but the cluttering wasn't really like sticking up to me because it's a modern house, so it wasn't like really like, oh, you have to clutter. Yep. So yeah, I added more lighting and other stuff, and to be honest, the foyer was getting kind of boring for me, so I moved on to the living room. So I continued adding plants because the house was feeling a little empty, and I didn't want it to be like empty because I hate empty houses. So I just decided to put plants in places that I didn't know where to put. So then I moved on to the living room, which was pretty like easy. Like I didn't want this house to have any TV. I don't know why, because in most of the pictures that I saw, the the houses, like the modern houses, didn't have any TV. So I was like, okay, sure, you know what, it's fine. So then I just put the fireplace and the couches. So this place was like a meeting spot. So it had like a huge carpet in the middle, and like what's it called, uh coffee table. What was that so hard for me to say? I actually joined together these two coffee tables, as you can see, and this little side table that was in the corner, the circular one. Um, I used a lot in this build, so yeah, you guys would want to, if you're recreating this house, you would want to do that. I added some curtains, and as you can see on the fireplace, I placed a trophy. So this room isn't really like anything fun. It's just a place that you sit, and then you can't even eat in this room. You can only like chill. You can't just like do anything. So it's just like place that you chill. So I started adding the doors, and I wanted to add like elegant doors. So I just added those doors, and I saw this library, like this, those secret doors they add in like places. I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I have never seen that in literally anything before. So I was kind of shocked. And then I moved on to the kitchen, which was pretty easy. Like I went for like a blue tone vibe. So that's what I did. And the kitchen, this is one of the biggest kitchen I've ever built in Sim 4. So I was pretty like, overwhelmed, but it's fine. Literally, like I mean, I think I slayed that. Anyways, I added an island. I added an island, and I wanted to make the island big because that middle part was like really really small. I mean, well, you like spacious, and I added two fridges. Which I never do because it's kind of expensive. So this house is like around like 100,000 simoleons. So I don't know if like this place I built it in was like a very rich neighborhood type thing. I wanted to add like those counter stove thing. I wanted to add that, but I never saw it. I wish they had it in this game. So I added this like stove. But if you're actually in the actual game, don't put that there because I don't know if it's gonna work. So just don't put it there. To be honest, it's gonna make you spend more money. I added two dishwashers. I added basically two of everything because there's two stoves, there's two refrigerators, there's two dishwashers, and yeah, I was adding like a bunch of things because I didn't know what to add to the kitchen. So I was like adding like a lot of things. I wanted to cover up the island and stuff. So yeah, that was it for the kitchen, to be honest. And then I moved on to the library, which I loved because of the sunlight that was entering the windows. I was like, so like this is the vibe. But I had to remove the windows because I had to put the bookshelves, so there was really no point of me like put it in the windows anyways. But the sunlight was amazing on the other side. I love the sunlight. If I woke up next to that, I would be so happy. Anyways, I added a carpet, and then I added a comfy like kind of like fancy chair because the house was getting fancy already. So I added a fancy chair, and then some paintings. Added some paintings. I added some fancy chairs. I added a place where technically she could just read. Whoever lived in the house could just read. And then I added some plants and then some other stuff. I was so happy of how the library turned out because it turned out great. So I added more paintings because I feel like the person would spend so much money on the paintings. So I was like, yeah, they ate that. That's how I was literally like. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I moved on to the bedroom, and then I searched up how to like do modern room bedroom things, and it turned out great. I was so happy. So I just continue on. This is actually not the master bedroom, but I don't know why I made this room so big, because the master bedroom was upstairs and it was the smallest room in the whole house. But I made it the master bedroom because it had a bathroom in it, and that's the only bathroom in the house. I don't know what was wrong with me, but yeah. I did that. Yeah. So I added more dressers, and yeah. So I continued adding more things to the room. Um, to be honest, this room I didn't want to decorate it. I wanted it to be kind of a guest room. So like whenever the guests got like came over, they would like put their stuff in the room. So I just made it like barely decorated. So I was like putting like a bit of stuff just to impress the guests a little bit, obviously. So yeah, that's what I added. I think I added a little like office area with like a computer and stuff. So I guess the guest is living their dream or something. So I added a computer area, I'm pretty sure. Um or maybe like a reading area, but I know I added somewhere they could sit at and do something. So I just did the working place wherever they're gonna work, and I think it worked out really well for me. So that's what I did. Um, for the rest of the room, I started adding more things, and then I moved upstairs to put the flooring down because the flooring was like kind of important to me, to be honest. So I did that, and then I did the foyer and stuff, and then yeah, that was pretty cool.
kick.